They told me not to make his lunch. Oh, okay. They told me not to fold his laundry.
But they said that.
No. They told me not to pay for dates.
Okay.
Take me to that. Take me to that. What you talking about? Pack that nigga lunch.
Okay, y'all, hear me out, okay? Hear me out real quick. There is a video trending online right now. There is a nice-looking woman with a beautiful red dress on and a small Gucci purse in a restaurant flaunting a ring, right? And she's like, they told me not to make his lunch. They told me not to do his laundry. And now I got a ring.
Now, this caption in her video says, getting proposed to / married is not a flex if the man is not a provider. Now, how would she know whether the man is a provider or not? This is an assumption. She's made a video with the assumption that she's marrying a guy that's not a provider. So we already off to a wrong start at that. Like, she was so seemingly triggered by this woman who she doesn't know. She threw her comment or whatever, but take the comment with a grain of salt, because oftentimes when a woman is making a video about another woman, especially her relationship, and when it's a relationship she like to have but likely cannot attain, the comments are just a setup for what she's about to really say.
Not saying that there's anything negative about that, but let me think logically, because my mind instantly has no choice but to think critically, okay? So I'm thinking like,
Her mind has no choice but to think critically. No, this is about to be a bitter Betty rant. It has nothing to do with thinking critically.
As a woman, I view myself in a high standard, right?
That's fair.
And I personally don't understand why women, when they talk about being married or getting proposed to, is always what they're doing to show the man that they can be a wife and a good wife. Like, I cook for him, I clean for him, I wash his, like, damn it, do you wipe his ass too? Are you his fucking caregiver? Are you his mama CNA and all that shit?
See what I mean? You know, the sisterhood is a very fascinating thing to me, because even though women will defend a lot of the silly stuff that other women do, like immediately they will take the woman's side and defend whatever the woman's position is. It's not because women like other women like that. It's because whatever silly thing it is that woman did, the woman defending her has either done it or been close to doing it or thought about doing it. So she's immediately defending the woman's position because she thinks of herself in that scenario there. Women don't really like other women like that, man. That's what I've learned. The sisterhood is just a defense mechanism defending all women. But when it comes to individual cases, and you just listen to them talk about other women, especially women that are seemingly in happy relationships, it comes out. They really don't like other women like that.
Like, what did he do for you? Like, okay, like, why do women never think, like, instead of...
She'd be making the same video even if that woman did talk about what he did for her.
Is this man worthy enough of me to take myself off of the market?
Yeah.
Is he worthy enough of me to risk my life and lay down and have a child?
Yeah, she obviously thinks that.
Is he worthy enough for me to allow him to make me his wife? You know, like, think about it, right? What she's saying is only a flex if what she was doing was strategy, because she seen that man had something to offer her in the long run, right? And you can say what it is you want to say, but men do the same thing. It's called choosing better. It's called vetting and having fucking common sense.
What you're looking at here is if who hurt you was a person. And that's not a diss towards this woman. You can tell that she's had some very negative experiences with some men. And the thing is, they rarely take it. they rarely take accountability for the type of men that they chose to be with. They chose to be with guys that were usually unstable. They chose to be with men that were inconsistent. A lot of times they choose the Pookies and Ray Rays. That's who they're most attracted to. They have inevitably negative experiences with those guys, and so they become very jaded after the fact. And then they try to take men categorically and paint them with the same brush based on the very negative experiences that they've had with a few different men, which is a very upside down thing. Because if they have very positive experiences with a couple men, they're not going to take that same brush and paint all men with that positive brush, but they'll have a few negative experiences with men, and then they'll want to say, well, all men do this, all men do that, men ain't shit, this and that. So what you're seeing here is a woman that she's been hurt in some sort of way. I sympathize with her to an extent, because I'm hearing all of this and I'm like looking below the surface, and I'm like, this really isn't about the woman in the video. This is really about you.
You're supposed to do that if you're going to be with somebody for the long haul, right? It's only a flex to flaunt a ring if behind being married in that paper, in that ring, he's providing for you. So repeat what you're saying and then think about your life 5 years from now. I got a ring because I cook and clean it. Okay, you cook, clean, but are you paying 50% of the bills? Because, bitch, I guarantee you, if you paying 50% of the bills, he ain't finna cook, clean, and do your motherfucking laundry.
But men do other things. He may not cook, clean. Let's say she is going to pay 50-50. That doesn't change the fact that we have our roles to play in a relationship. And it's funny how when it comes to the things that men are supposed to do in a relationship, when men are supposed to climb on the roof and clean the gutters, when men are supposed to go out and mow the lawn, when men are supposed to go out and change the oil, we don't waive the gender role expectation when it comes to that. It's only when it comes to cooking and cleaning, which is something that they would need to do anyway. When it comes to making a man a meal, it's something about that they find so offensive. And this woman, she's got these two nose rings. You can't help but notice because they're larger than I usually see them, and she's got one on each side. In my opinion, this is like a telltale sign of a woman that's been through some sort of traumatic experience. Women that go through stuff, they typically do something physically to themselves. They'll chop off their hair, they'll get some wild piercings, they'll get tattoos. They'll do something to their body that is very negative, and they'll do, it'll be a sign in there. They'll sell it as, this is me growing, this is a new me, when it's really kind of like a outward display of, I need healing. She's not an unattractive woman at all. She's a very attractive woman. And ironically, if she were to take those out, she would likely be even more attractive. I recently watched a video where the woman took her septum ring out because she was talking about some she realized she was ugly with it or something like that. And it was crazy how much better she looked without it in. If I can find that clip, I'm gonna make a video about it.
So you watching shitty ass draws. You over here sitting up there cooking for him, cleaning for him, packing his lunch and all that shit, but you're still working. You're his servant. You're making his life easier while you basically married a roommate. I cannot make this shit up. Change the way that you think. If I get married, I'm going to get married with someone that can put me in a better predicament that I'm already in.
All this assumption, mind you, based on like a 20-second clip, if that, of her saying, they told me don't make his lunch, they told me don't wash his clothes or whatever, and showing off her ring. She's doing a whole rant piece, assuming a whole lot of things based on a 15 to 20-second clip, man. As I said, if Who Hurt You was a person.
Otherwise, I could just put my fucking house up and then I can make my own life better by bringing in more income so that I can go buy myself a diamond ring if I want to. I can have extra savings, instead of helping a grown man carry weight. Like, what do I need you here for? If you weren't with that man, he would be doing everything by himself. So what the fuck he come and get a woman for help? Because that's what it doesn't make sense. I don't know the full story. I'm not saying this is what's going on.
You talking like you do.
A beautiful moment, and I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy.
I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy. What? Man, this just goes to show you nobody hates women like other women. Nobody hates a woman in a happy relationship like a woman who isn't. Like, really, when it's a woman that is happy, she's comfortable in her relationship, she's celebrating her man, it's always going to be women like this and that look like this too, with nose rings and whatnot, that are making these types of videos being negative and then claiming she's not trying to be a negative Nancy, man. Oh, the irony of that is just too much. Can't take it.
I'm just using this situation as an example of how you need to be thinking as a woman, because there's nothing wrong with being excited because a man proposed to y'all.
Ladies, do not take relationship advice from women that are not getting the results that you seek. Please do not take relationship advice from women like this. Even though in her mind, she may mean well, she may think that she's like looking out for you and whatnot. No, you cannot take relationship advice from women that are advising you from a place of bitterness and hurt. Do not do it.
But the man's supposed to be more excited that you chose him. You the motherfucking prize. This why these men, they told me I'm cooking for him, I clean for him. I got a ring so I can serve.
Now, if he was doing that, then the video would be about how you marrying a zesty man.
Serve him for the rest of my life. Why do y'all think that it is a flex to be a fucking maid, chef, fucking caregiver, CNA servant to a man that's not making your life better? You still gotta go to work. You still gotta fucking slave after him. What is the point?
Yeah, she's hurt. I wouldn't doubt if this is a woman that is a single mom. You know, she's obviously been through some traumas, be it at the hand of a man or a couple different men, bad men that she chose. As I said, I wouldn't be surprised if she's a single mom struggling out there. These things, they typically make a woman very, very bitter. And when they see other women out there happy and getting the type of results that they once upon a time dreamed that they'd have, believed that they would have, it is really upsetting to them. And then it gets them coming on to the internet, displaying their bitterness to the world, and the bitterness, they're trying to serve it up under the guise of being a good sis.
Everything that she mentioned she's doing is multiple different jobs. That if he was living on his own and he wanted somebody he was not fucking on and that wasn't in love with him and stupid to do that shit, he would have to pay each different person. What you're saying you're doing is a job. So I hope you're not going 50-50, sweetie, because that's not a flex. Fuck out of here. I'll take the ring, though. It'll be a long engagement while I search for the man that actually is going to do what he's supposed to do.
I'm not going to play this because of the music, but this was her showing off, you know, the lights and everything of her being proposed. And I know that lady was probably really triggered by that. So that's all that is, man. You got this woman, she's very much projecting her own feelings of her own life, the results she's not getting. She saw this woman because the video went viral and was very triggered by it. When people are so upset about you being happy, this is usually something within them. It has nothing to do with you. I'm going to leave it there, though, you guys. Let me know what you think. I'm going to read those comments. I'm going to holler at y'all soon. Peace.